This video is brought to you by QuizTones, my all-time favorite app for learning frequency. Go grab it. If you're struggling from super dynamic vocals, and when I say dynamic vocals, I mean kind of like this waveform right here. You have moments in your song where you're singing really soft and smooth and nice, and then you have moments where it gets really loud and really intense. And if you're struggling to get those to be leveled out like you hear in a professional mix and a professional song, this video is going to help you so much because I'm going to teach you how to level your vocals so that you get a consistent volume throughout your song. That way you can mix it so much easier. Before we get into that, if you're just learning how to mix and you're trying to figure out how to EQ vocals, you're trying to figure out how to compress vocals, I made a preset bundle that's for GarageBand and Logic Pro, and there's over 30 presets for vocals. So there's tons of EQ presets, compression presets, and saturation presets. These presets are completely free, and I made them for you. And if you click the link down below to download them, it also comes with a free training video that shows you how to put these presets in the correct places on your computer, as well as how to manipulate them slightly so that you get the best possible sound you can for your vocals. So go grab that. Let's jump into this video. So I'm going to play a little bit of this so you can hear a quiet part of this vocal and then going into this super loud section and then back to kind of like a medium volume.
I drove through life with no given chance. I live my life, I make my own plans. Back and forth in life, it seems.
All right, cool. So the first key here is obviously these are very different volumes. I mean, you have a really soft verse here. You have a pretty good consistent chorus, but this intro in here, it's this lead into the chorus is just way too much. So we're going to start with going to the chorus. So basically you want to go to a section where the vocals are pretty consistent and you want to use that as like your basis, right? That's like your foundation of the volume of your vocal. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this chorus and get the vocal in a decent place. It doesn't need to be perfect, but get it to about the volume that you want it to be.
Back and forth in life, it seems. This is how it used to be. Always stay behind the scenes. This is how I choose to be.
Okay, that's pretty decent. Of course, there's some notes really peaking out and stuff, but we're not adding any compression or anything like that yet. We're just trying to find an average, just a general average of where this vocal needs to sit, right? Okay, so now if we hit A for automation, our automation is going to come up. And we're looking at this pink, purpley vocal right here, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use automation to level this. And how we're going to do that is we're going to basically mark each of these different sections. So I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to start with just this chorus that we're at because it's the simplest place to be. So all you have to do is just click. So we're going to make 2 dots before the vocal comes in, and we're going to make 2 dots after. All right, we're going to do the same thing for this section here where it gets really loud. And then we're going to do another here. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and just do the same thing. So we'll just keep this verse the same. 2 dots, 2 dots. So each of these sections, we're just kind of creating place markers is basically what we're doing. This might seem silly, but it will make so much sense once we start manipulating these. Okay. So the reason we're doing 2 dots is so that I can easily grab a section and move the fader, right? So let's just say we're manipulating this section right here. All I have to do now is like grab this line and move it up and down, and you see over here this fader coming up and down, right? Pretty awesome. So now that we have this set up and it's kind of ready to go, we can start to get a good level between these vocals. So let's start with this super loud part going into this chorus. So I already know this is really loud, so we're gonna just bring it down maybe a couple dB. Let's just see how this sounds.
I live my life, I make my own plans.
All right, so it's still a little hot. We're just gonna bring it down a little bit more.
I live my life, I make my own plans.
All right, and just for fun, I like the dynamics that's happening, but just for fun, we're just gonna lower just this guy like a dB. Nothing crazy. Oh, I might have did 2, but let's just see how this sounds.
I live my life, I make my own plans. Back and forth in life, it seems.
Okay, seems pretty decent, pretty decent. Now let's get this verse here. We're gonna need to bring these up, I think.
Some people say I wear my heart on my sleeve, but that's okay, you really don't know me.
All right, that seems like it's in a good spot. And then all we need to do now is sort of match these. We're just doing this to get a good level. So we're at about -2 here on these verses. So I'm gonna bring this verse up to about -2. All right. And then here we're about at -6. So we'll just go ahead and get it as close as we can to -6. I think it was -6.8. That's close enough. All right, our choruses should be close. Then we have another verse, so we're going to get this up to about -2. We're going to do the same thing here, -6. So these probably aren't going to be perfect, but they'll be close. And then we'll see. This ending we might bring up to -2 because we know that's going to be really quiet. Okay, so now we're going to go through and kind of check these, right? So we're going to go out of this chorus into this verse. Let's just get this close.
This is how I choose to be. I sit in a corner of this room. I feel ashamed. What did I do?
All right, just
This time everyone will know.
all right, so we're gonna do that same thing here on this, especially this last line right here. It's just a little bit loud, so we're just gonna bring it down just a little bit.
Everyone will know.
That's better. All right, then we have a chorus. We're just gonna say the chorus is good. Let's check, make sure our verse here is good.
The flowers, the dirt, the crying face.
Yeah, that seems like it's in a super good spot. Let's check out of this into this loud section here.
Bury my memories and crushed my pain. I'll spit on your grave where you lay.
Whoa, okay. All right, so we're gonna need, he gets really loud about here. So we're gonna go ahead and just turn this down a couple dB. I bet that's gonna be real close.
I'll spit on your grave where you.
All right, and just for time's sake, we're gonna say that this chorus is the same as the other ones, and then let's just check this ending here.
Nothing can go away.
All right, just for fun, just to show you how powerful this, let's just say that, I mean, that last word is a little quiet. So let's just do this. I mean, a lot of this is gonna be helped with some compression, but we're just getting a basic sound before we start mixing.
Go away.
Awesome. So you can get even deeper than this. We can go to these verse sections and those endings. We can bring them up slightly up and down. I try not to do two extremes, and this takes a lot of practice, right? So doing this kind of over and over. But the cool thing is now we can solo this vocal, right? Because we have all this kind of crazy automation, and we might want to automate this like for emotion and stuff for the power of the mix, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select this vocal, and we're gonna export this. So share, export song to disk, and make sure your vocal's soloed. Make sure there's no reverb on it. There's no mastering that's happening. And we're just gonna throw this in downloads, and we're gonna call this leveled vocal. Or let's make it a little shorter. level vocal. And then wave, uncompressed 24-bit, export cycle area. And then we're going to hit export. So it might seem silly to export when we're kind of like done and we could just leave it alone. Once this is done, I'm going to show you why this is super, super helpful. All right, so now it's done exporting. We are going to grab it out of our downloads right here, bring level vocal in, and then we're going to bring it right up to our lead vocal. You can see our leveled vocal here is a lot more leveled out. There's still dynamics. You can see this part still gets bigger, which is good. So does this part. We still have our choruses big. And then this end you can see is a lot louder. So this is really cool because now you can start using compression on your vocal and you won't have to compress quite as much for these loud parts. Now you can get a more consistent compression sound for the whole vocal, and it really helps. This helps with background vocals, this helps with everything. And also the cool part is now you can use automation to maybe just enhance the song. So maybe you want those choruses to be a bit louder, or maybe you want this ending to be a bit louder. This is where you truly have freedom to automate like crazy and makes your song in an awesome way. So definitely go grab your vocal and do this leveling just to practice it and then just see how it looks. Thanks so much for watching. Go download Quiz Tones to train your ear if you haven't already, and definitely go grab my presets. You can click the link in the description for both of those. Peace, friends.